In today's video, I share with you a quick and simple lamb meat stew. This is simple, comes together in no time, and perfect for the weeknight. It's one of those nights you have no idea what to make for dinner, but some way, somehow, you pull through and have something on the table. I'm sure a lot of moms can relate, so let's dive right into the video. If you're new here, my name is Gifty. A warm and pleasant welcome to you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our uploads. And if you are an OG, a returning, thank you so much for the love and support as always. Let's dive right in. And for my list of ingredients, I have 2 thumb-sized ginger sliced, 5 cloves of garlic. Then I have a few sprigs of fresh thyme. You can also use dry, 2 bay leaves, and I have half each of the purple and white onion, which is sliced. So it's half of these two, and I slice them up. I also have here 3 calabash nutmegs and a teaspoon of anise seeds. I have here a teaspoon of curry powder and a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And I have here the remaining of the onion, which I'll reserve for later use. And this is some green onion and some rosemary, which I infused some oil for something else, so I'll be adding that to my blended ingredients. I have here a can of peeled tomatoes in tomato juice. I got these on sales at Sam's Club. It was going for a good deal, so I grabbed a few boxes of that. I have here some salt, and I have here my lamb meat, which is nicely washed. I will start off by blending the ingredients that needs to be blended. So that's the green onion and the rosemary, the calabash nutmeg, the anise seed, the onion, and initially I forgot to add in the ginger and the garlic, so I added in later. Add some water, blend everything together, and now I'll proceed to season the meat. This is 825 grams of lamb meat. You can use any meat of your choice, and I will add in some salt to taste. I have the bay leaves in there. I'll pour some of the marinade over it and reserve the rest to fry the stew. Our meat is nicely marinated, so we'll cover it and set it on the burner and allow it to steam for about 10 minutes. Allow it to sweat out its own juices, and at that point we'll add in some water and allow it to steam some more so we can use the stock to make the stew. We'll proceed to start making the stew. I'll be air frying the meat, so I'll start making the stew. And this is some oil that I am recycling. I used it to fry some fish, so you know the flavors are popping. So at this point I'll add in the sliced onions and the bay leaves. Allow this to fry until it turns nice and golden brown. Add in a pinch of salt, and this allows the moisture to draw out of the onions quickly, so your onions fry faster. As you can see, our onions are beautifully fried. So at this point I'm going to add in a teaspoon of parsley flakes. You can use fresh if you have it, which I did. I don't know why I didn't use fresh. And also about a half teaspoon of black pepper. Then I'm going in with the curry powder and the cayenne pepper. I'll give this a stir and allow this to fry for about 30 seconds to a minute, and we'll go in with our next ingredients. If you don't fry your spices at the beginning of your cooking, I'll really encourage you to, because what it does is it wakens up the flavors and everything really marries beautifully together. The taste is just amazing. Next, we'll add in the blended ingredients and also the tomato paste. I'm using 4 ounces of tomato paste. It's frozen, so I'm going to fry everything together until the moisture draws out, and this should take about 10 to 15 minutes on a low heat, and you want to cook at a moderate heat so your stew doesn't burn. Okay, so give this a stir and then allow it to fry. Our lamb meat is done steaming, so I'm going to air fry it. It's just a little bit. You can also fry it, and if you do that, you have to do it at the beginning so you can infuse your oil with the meat. And next, I have here my blended tomatoes, and our stew is beautifully fried at this moment. The moisture has evaporated, so I'll add in the blended tomatoes and give it a stir and allow it to fry until the moisture draws out. Even for a quicker way, you can also go ahead and cook out the moisture in your tomatoes, and that will even fry your stew faster. Rinse out your blender with a little bit of water, add that in there, give it a stir, and cover this partially, and this will help the steam to escape, or the moisture to escape, which will allow your stew to fry faster. And guys, this smells amazing already. It smells really, really good. So cover it halfway and then allow it to do its thing. However, you want to go in there periodically and give it a stir to prevent your stew from burning. This is how our stew looks. It smells great, already looks good. So at this point, we'll add in our fish powder into sour. This is the dry herring, which I blended 3 of those in my spice mill. You can also use your shrimp Maggi tablets or whatever you have available. And I'll add in the meat stock. That's very flavorful. So at this point, I haven't added in any salt because we added the salt into our meat stock. So you want to add in your meat stock, then taste for your salt, and if you need more, then you add in some more salt. I tasted for the salt, looks like I need a bit more. So when I was blending the dry herrings, I also added a bit of nutmeg in there. And if you haven't tried nutmeg in your stews, give it a try. It's really, really amazing in your tomato based stews. I'll also add in some basil. If you have fresh, that's even better, but I had the dry the basil flakes here. So I'm going to add in about a teaspoon of that and give everything a stir. Allow this to simmer for about 10-15 more minutes, and we'll be ready to add in our meat. This is 15 minutes later. Our stew is almost ready. I scooped some of the stew off because it's too much for the meat that we have. So and also decanted some of the oil. I just added in some dry rosemary, which is very nice for your stews. And I added in the meat as well. We'll give this a stir and allow this to simmer gently for about 15 minutes more. I just want the stew to thicken up a little bit. And 10 minutes later, our stew is ready. Looks very good. So I thought I was recording, but apparently I wasn't. So I just added in some eggs and some sliced bell pepper and carrots, and that's basically it. Your stew is ready to be enjoyed with anything. This was just a quick and simple, easy weeknight stew. I didn't want anything complicated, nothing serious, just something simple. So I'll add in the scallions, which is our finishing touch. We'll give this a stir and allow it to simmer for like 2 minutes, and our stew is perfectly done. And you can serve this with your rice, you can have it with your yam, whatever you fancy. But yeah, this is one of those days like you don't know what to cook, and so I just grabbed the meat from the freezer, and ta-da, we have something delicious, home cooked meal to eat. And I paired this with a quick and simple coconut turmeric rice, which I already have on the channel. I'll link it in the description box down below for your convenience. Thank you so much for doing this with me, for spending your time with me. If you're new here, thank you for your love and support. And to all our returning subscribers, thank you as always. I hope to see you in our next video. Kindly like and share, and also subscribe and hit on your notification bell so you don't miss any of our uploads. And until we meet again, stay blessed, stay out of trouble, and be well. Bye y'all.